Hey, what's up, good people? It's your boy Onyx. So, anyways, this video right here, before I get started, as always, thank you to all my supporters. My channel continues to grow. Thanks to you guys continue to support my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Special shout out to Neffy for being a member. And also special shout out for anybody who's bought my book Forbidden. But now let's get started. So before I begin, this is not targeted to a specific content creator. I'm not talking about like one particular person. However, if the shoe fits, wear that bitch. But I am not speaking on one particular content creator. I'm speaking in general. So for those who know, I am what I am. I'm not gonna say this time around because honestly, I feel like I leave with it too much, and my identity is more than just my sexuality. But for those who know, who know, you don't know, this video should definitely give you answer that question for you, or my face, as some people might say. So the thing about OnlyFans, I've been subscribing to various OnlyFans throughout the years, and some that I loved and just got bored with it. The content creators were fine. It's just I got bored eventually. Other times, the content creator either was a waste of my money, which I really, really want to refund, but you really can't, and trying to get a refund through OnlyFans unless you got evidence as long as you're freaking armed, OnlyFans has to give you a hard time with refunds. So it's really not worth it. That's why you gotta be really careful who you subscribe to. Thank gosh, there's this forum I was recently introduced to through Twitter. It's called LPS. It's basically forum. It's a adult themed forum, so adults only. It's probably for men, but a woman could go there too. But once again, adults only. You are a minor. Do not look up that website. Do not. I'm not even gonna leave a link for it. If you follow me on Twitter, you're like, hey, Honest, can you send me a link to that? I will do that. But I'm not gonna leave a link on my YouTube channel for obvious reasons that YouTube might think is corn. Just replace the C with a P, and there goes my channel. But in general, that website has been very helpful in helping me dodge certain bullets when it comes to subscribing to people's OFs accounts. Now, getting to my whole issue with OnlyFans, outside, price stuff. Well, price stuff is a part of it. First and foremost, you as a person has to manage your money. Do not spend money. I don't care how attractive the person is. Do not spend money on someone's OnlyFans if you got to worry about your bills, putting food, car, gas, getting back and forth to work. You owe a friend or family member money. You take care of priorities first. OF is a luxury, not a necessity. So if you go buck wild with the people who you support, that's on you. But my issues with this with OnlyFans and the content creators, not the website itself. That's a topic for another day. Content creators love support. They love support. But to me, not too often do they give back that support. Like when you're, let's say you're OnlyFans, I'm going to use the standard price. It's $10. Yes, you got to have stuff on your wall. Yes, you got, when people subscribe to you, they should be bombarded with good content. Now, unless your page is brand spanking new, that I understand you only got like 4 or 5 posts, and then you need to add on to that daily. But one of my biggest issue with people with OFs, they like to hide all their goods behind a paywall, and a lot of the excuse is, I'm not showing my stuff for $10. That's fine. But if you know you led it with your ding dong or your booty, you can't be mad at people who are like, well, I subscribed to you because I was expecting to see this, and you tell me the only way I could see what I actually came here for, I got to pay more money. That's ridiculous. To me, you knew what people were coming to see. Now, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to show my ding dong just for $10. That's fine. Then you could say, hey, you get a picture of my ding dong, but you want to see a video of me playing with my ding dong, my face and everything. I have a video for like 5-7 minutes long for $25. That's fair. But if your OF account looks like no different than your Instagram account, you're ripping people off. Because that's not what people came there to see. Now of course your OF account is about video games, it's about fitness. With no tea, no shade, you can make a Patreon for that or just start a YouTube channel like I did. But to me, and I'm not saying that's, if you make an OF account, it gotta be for adult themed stuff. No, you can make an OF account for anything. A lot of people don't realize that about OnlyFans. It's not actually an adult site. Well, it became one due to how it was used, But that's not what OnlyFans was made for. It's actually, if I remember correctly, strike me if I'm wrong, it was made to be an alternative to Patreon. But because Patreon was more strict on adult themed stuff, like artwork, they're all for it if it's fiction. But no realism. Like you cannot be, you cannot be a real life human being and showing your goods. Even if you you do the market it correctly, Patreon don't play that. You will lose your account like that. But OF, that goes along as it follows their guidelines. They're cool with that. But my whole thing is this. If you're like, okay, I'm not gonna let y'all see my goods for $10, then my thing would be like this: raise the subscription price to like $20, which is fair. So when people subscribe, you're getting a good chunk of money. And if they like what they see, they're either gonna tip more or ask for customs. But if you know your OF is, you price your OF for $10 and people are coming to your page to subscribe, and when they get there, it's just a picture of your abs or a picture of you in your underwear. I want to see the goods. And you're like, I'm not showing no goods for $10. Are you out of your mind? Now, if you want to see all that, you need to give me another $20, $30. You are a scam. You are a scammer. Because you know it's not what they came to see. However, now let's say, for example, now this is the only way I can get around that, where it's fair. Let's say your OF is like $3. I think that lowest it could be is $5. I mean, you can also make it free, but I'm gonna get to about free OF accounts in a second. In a few rather. If you subscribe to someone's page, their page is only $5. No tea, no shade. That's the same price of a Yu-Gi-Oh card pack or Pokemon card pack or whatever. I feel like cheap OF content creators, they can get away with a lot more leniency and putting stuff behind paywalls because you didn't pay a lot of money to subscribe to them. Now, they put the goods on the paywall. That's fantastic. But with me, if the OF is that cheap, they can say, okay, here's a little teaser. But if you want to see the actual juicy stuff, I need a little more. Now, mind you, they shouldn't be charging like no $40, $50. And the videos need to be like a good length of time to be worth your money. Because people work hard for their money. There should be no 1 minute or 30 seconds for no. Imagine ask someone $15 for a 2-minute video. That's ridiculous. But if you're like, okay, my OF account is cheap, but you want to see the real stuff, you want to see the good stuff, I'm going to ask for a little bit more, but you will get your money's worth. That to me is fair. But if you charge your OF account for $10 or $15, you need to be showing your goods on your wall. Now, if people want to see the bonus content, or maybe let's say, you have a 2-minute video of you playing with your ding dong, but now there's a 10-minute version that people really want to see. If they want to see the 10-minute version where you shoot the creamy stuff at the end, I can say, okay, you know what? I got a 10-minute version. Give me $20 and you get the 10-minute version where I shoot my creamy stuff. That's fair. But I feel a lot of content creators, they have a subscription price, and when people subscribe to it, right, they're attracted, they see them market it on their other social media accounts. They subscribe to this is it? This is a fucking ghost town here. What the fuck? This is no different than your Instagram, which is free. Why did I subscribe? I want my money back, and then there's the whole hustle of that. Another thing I want to speak about is free OF accounts. Free OF accounts to me are the scam. Yes, they're free, so you don't pay no money to subscribe, and you just unsubscribe. You go like this. But what I hate about free accounts, to me, that's just like another form of scam. It's like, it'd be free to subscribe, but to see anything, they want like $25, $35, $40. If you knew you wanted big money, why didn't you make your OF free? Why not just give a solid price? And so the content could be enjoyable. People already have to, let's say, you say, you're going to put out good content. You're confident you're going to put out good content. Make your OF account $25, so when people subscribe to it, the goods are already there. Instead of saying, it's free, but for people to see anything, they got to spend like cell phone bill money. Or like buying a video game money. That's ridiculous. And that to me is fucking bonkers and is unfair. Next, I want to talk about OnlyFans. OnlyFans content creators who have a good price and they show the goods on their wall. You don't have to pay extra to see the goods. But the problem comes with them, they're inconsistent. Let's say I'm going to make a fake person. I don't want to use a real person. I'm going to use something that's really dumb. Let's say there's a content creator named Salon Pass. Obviously, that'd be a terrible name in real life to use. Salon Pass he puts out great content. He has a nice body, a nice ding dong, a nice booty. He puts out great content, but he updates his OF account every 3 to 4 weeks. So, and let's say he had his OF account since February. We're now in May, and he only had like 19 posts up there. And you're like, dude, what were you doing? Why is it such a big drop? You had this account since February. We're now in May. So we got through March, April, May. 3 months. You haven't posted much. And like when the content is decent, it's such a big drought. By that time, when you do start posting again, your subscribers left. They found someone who's more consistent. And to me, a lot of people say, I want support. And I understand. I don't care if you're the biggest content creator in the world or someone who just started. No one's going to post on their OF every day. I can even say skip it a day or two. But if a whole week goes by since you last posted, and you're like, oh, here's a new picture. Y'all think I'm sexy? Lazy son of a bitch. And you wonder why your subscriber count went from 100 to 35. Because you're inconsistent. Not only when you finally do post again, it's not worth the wait. It wasn't worth the wait. And my thing is, there's different levels of OF content creators. There's some who owe it their livelihood. They pretty much just how they pay their bills, take care of themselves through OF. There's some people who have OF for a hobby. They got a good paying job, so they don't got to go that hard on OF, but they got a nice body, a bit of an exhibitionist, so they made an account to show their goods, but they don't need this. Like, they don't need this OF, so that's why they don't care. If you subscribe, great. You tip, great. But you dip after a week, fine. They have their real-life job. I mean, OF is a job itself, you make it a job, but their real-life job pays them so well that this OF stuff is just a little side hobby. It's not how they're going to take care of themselves. Now the in-betweeners. Now, for those who just treat OF as a side hobby, I'm going to go back to what I'm going to say next. I just want to add more. That's fine, because honestly, I can't really say much to you because you always treat it like a side hobby. But only thing I was saying in the description, updates are random. This is not my livelihood. I do this for fun. I do this for extra cash. But I have a major life, and I make better money outside this OF shit. So if you subscribe to me, you got to be okay with long waits, droughts, in between. But just make sure your stuff is cheap, because you can't charge high if you're going to be inconsistent. If you're charging like $5, maybe $6 a month for your OF, I'm sorry, and let's go to the subscribers. Yes, you could be like, well, dang, man, I wish you were more active. You're so handsome. You got a nice ding dong. But they're charging so low, does it really matter if they're active or not? Just unsubscribe if you don't want to spend the $6 on an account that's not really active, and then come back when you feel like they got more. Come back maybe 2-3 months later when they're sure to have new content. Best I can tell you. But it's so cheap, you really can't bitch and moan. But now for those who are the in-betweeners, those who have got a job, but they know their job alone can't take care of all their needs. Like, they'll get through the necessity, they'll get their base to take care of. But any luxuries, they're going to struggle to finance that without their OF. The in-betweeners, I understand your work. You probably got kids, you got a wife, husband, etc. But if you are a content creator OF and you charge a substantial amount for your OF page, which I say $10 is the standard amount, you gotta make time where you're pumping content into your OF. You can't be like, oh, yeah, I had a long work day. I work 4 days a week. And when I get this day off, I just want to lay in bed. I might go catch up with my friends, go to the arcades. But your OF account is collecting tumbleweed. I'm sorry, baby. Either delete the account, lower the price, or update it. And like I said, once again, this goes to no one's going to do this every day. No one's doing this every day. No one's doing this every day. Even the professionals, those who make it their living, have their off days. But if you're someone who's trying to make money out of this and actually wants your account to matter, you gotta be consistent. I'm not saying you gotta be on it 24/7. You ain't gotta live in your own account. You gotta be like, no. When you pretty much like your own security guard, just staying there 24/7, like you have nothing better to do with your life. But if you have an OF account, I say max. No more than 3 days should go by without you posting new content, and the content should be good content worth the wait. But it should not, unless you're sick, unless you have like a loss in your family, or God forbid, which sucks because it happens to the best of us, the electronics that you use to make your accounts get messed up, then yeah, that's going to cause a good pause. Because now something just life happened. But if you're physically able and you know, okay, I haven't updated my account in 3-4 days, that's not good. I should have updated by now. Let me go make some content for my subscribers because these people paid. They need to get something out of their money. And that's another thing people talk about as well. Y'all, some of y'all, not all y'all will complain about I don't get tipped. Y'all don't tip me. Y'all don't tip me. You're not giving them a reason to tip. You're not giving them any reason to tip. You're not consistent. You're hardly there. And when you do post, your posts don't be nothing that people are like, oh yes, yes, daddy, I need to give you my hard-earned money. No, to me, you have to be enticing. You have to be entertaining. You have to bring in your audience. You have to treat it like this is your only means of survival. Even if it's not, when you're doing your content, you gotta put your full-on passion to it. Like when I make my YouTube videos, I learned to get better over time. I'm not perfect, I'm not great. Even right now, some people are like, Onyxe, you need to get a better camera, start using your shitty cell phone, whatever. But I work with the best I got, and I do my best to improve every time. Like I noticed when I used to do my recordings without my headphones, my voice was so great. But when I started doing my recordings with my headphones, you guys hear me better. These are things I work to improve on. And I feel like as an OF creator, there needs to be the same passion. Because if you don't want to do all that, then, you know, why make the account? Just delete it. You don't want to put no kind of effort into it. And that's another thing with OF creators. They get upset. They want the support, but they don't do nothing to earn the support. And you're like, why is my subscriber count's dropping? I had 79 when I first started this, but now I'm down to like 19. You're lucky to still have those 19 because the other 50 something people decided to dip because well, we actually be 60. Well, yeah, 60 something. I'm trying to do head math. I'm talking. 60 people decided to dip because your ass was inconsistent. You didn't make good content, and even if you weren't spamming the paywall, wasn't abusing the paywall style, your content wasn't worth people sticking around for. You were inconsistent, which is just as bad as hiding your content behind paywalls. I feel like the worst thing your content creator do is be inconsistent or a paywall whore. Like, and when I say paywall, it means you're constantly, oh, you know, your little previews, but every little thing is a paywall, a paywall, a paywall, a paywall, a paywall. Or the person who your content is good, but you're so inconsistent, it's just not worth sticking around for. It's not worth it. Another thing I want to talk about OF creators. When OF creators like, okay, you buy something from my Amazon wish list, you get a custom video, or you know, you tipped a certain amount, I'm sending you a free video. Do not tell your subscribers those things if you're no intention on following through, or it's gonna take you forever to follow through. Let's say, for example, let's say your subscriber buys you a cool hat. This is a hat my mom got me during her trip to Florida. I love this hat, but I'm just making an example. Let's say I got a cool hat that you really want, but the hat costs $25. Most people, not saying all, but a lot of people don't want to drop $25 on a hat, just a hat. But let's say your subscriber's like, okay, I'm gonna buy you the hat. And you're like, okay, thanks for giving me that hat. I received my hat. I'm gonna send you a special video. They're like, okay, you got the hat like a whole week ago? And your subscriber's like, okay, where's my special video for you getting your hat? I'm gonna get you your video. So now it comes off as scamming, or it shows that you're very negligent. Because if you told your subscriber kept up their part of it. They went to your Amazon wishlist, got you this cool hat that you really wanted, and now they're waiting a good amount of time for that custom. Now, I'm saying, don't get me twisted. I think it's silly to expect as soon as you get the item, you're going, I got the item, time to get the pin. Like, no. You're probably doing something. You probably have to go to bed. You probably have to go to work, etc. But you should keep in your head, okay, 48 at max, 72 hours after I receive this item, I need to send this person their custom video. It should take me a week. It should take me 2. It should make me when the person's wondering, did I get ripped off to this mother effer? Did I just buy something off this mother effer's Amazon wish list, and now I'm waiting for my custom video, and I still ain't get it? That's not cool. I think when you tell someone they're going to custom video, you need to tell them, give me 2 to 3 business days after I receive the item. And, you know, and then I got your video. You're going to get your video. 2 to 3 days. I feel like that's fair. That is fair. That is very fair. And also, for a person who is waiting for item, don't lie. You know you already received your item. Let's say someone asks like, "Hey, I ordered their item on January 12th. They said you would get it by January 16th. It's January 18th. Did you receive your item yet? Oh, it didn't come in yet. It didn't come in yet. I'm still waiting." And meanwhile, they go on the Amazon tracker, which I love about Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. That Amazon the item was delivered January 15th at 4 p.m. And you're ahead like, now is Amazon lying to me, which is most cases not, or is this mother effer lying? They got the item right in their house, or sending their mail because they didn't want to check their mail yet. Also, this is a little off topic. I cannot stand people who do not check their mails consistently. Unless you're old and brittle, which you know you can't get to your mailbox all the time. If you're a living human, you shouldn't go no more than one day checking your mailbox. I can't see. That's a pet peeve of mine. If I'm like ever in a relationship with somebody, and I'm like, honey, do you check the mail? You're like, and I know I like to check it. But let's say I couldn't get to you, like, honey, you check the mail? No. Can you go check the mail? It's probably something important in there. Check the fucking mail. Lazy ass is right there. It's like that irks me. But let's get back on topic. If you know you already received the item, don't make your fan have to go check. Go back to the Amazon, see the receipt. They go, no, they do see all that. They just don't see your address. You're like, you know, that's protection. Obviously, you won't want your full address, but they get to see when Amazon is going to ship it and when you receive it. They get to see that much. So lying to them is really stupid. If you're going to scam them, you should have came a better way to scam somebody than something that they person could obviously track to know that you're telling them a lie. Because I think Amazon is perfect. Yes, Amazon can lose your package. My shout out to my good friend Aliza. There's times where Amazon's lost her packages, and she either had to get it resent to her for free, or you know she had to get something, find an alternative. But for the most part, Amazon is good at delivering people's packages. As long as the address and zip codes all good, they're going to send you your stuff. That's another thing. Do not lie. So when you tell your subscribers they do A/B, they will receive a custom video or a free video. Keep your fucking word. Do not make them wait 4, 5, 6 days for that video. Or worse, they never get it. Keep your word. Because that's some scammer shit. And that's the real thing I hate about OnlyFans. OnlyFans, I hope in 2025, later this year be great, but 2025, there's a way to say, hey, without people lying, because that's the only thing I think people can also abuse it, which is the double-edged sword, because some people just lie. Because some gives them, for instance, an OnlyFans content creator could actually keep their word. But let's say a person feels like they're unsatisfied with this video. Like, oh, so-and-so scammed me. Meanwhile, they didn't scam you. You just didn't like the video. They give you the video had a good amount of length of time to it. You got to see them shoot their right stuff, and that's what you asked for in the video. You got your video. You yourself were just unsatisfied. That's not being scammed. That's like going to a restaurant eating a meal. The meal is fully cooked, and the meal's not even nasty. Well, not nasty, but you just like, I didn't like this meal. You can't ask for a refund just because you didn't like the meal. There's a difference between the meal was undercooked or was incorrectly cooked, undercooked, or they added something to the food that you told them specifically not to add versus the meal was made properly. You just didn't end up enjoying it. That's not the same. That is not the same. So, but I started thinking about OnlyFans, I have like a strong report account because I feel like some people legitimately use it correctly, me, but there'd be those who like, if the content creator just pissed them off or rubbed them the wrong way that day, they're like, oh, so-and-so scammed me. No, they didn't scam you. You got an attitude. But overall, these are the things that kind of like irk me about OFs and the content creators behind them. Like, I can't see an inconsistent motherfucker, and I can't see a person who spams the paywall. I cannot. Also, a person who does not keep their word, which goes back to the whole scamming and inconsistent stuff. But I wanted to make this rant for a minute. I kept pushing on because, you know, just being lazy, to be quite honest. But I just want to put this rant out there. If you agree with it and want to add into it. And also, I'm speaking about male content creators. That's probably obvious for earlier. And also the words I use. Because I can't speak on women content creators because I don't subscribe to women content creators. So I can't be the judge of that, obviously. But anyway, that was like a little talk about my little icks with over content creators and stuff. If you relate to the video, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, like, hopefully subscribe, share it, please. More people see myself, the more it helps me grow as a content creator. Peace, take care, honest, play out. Ciao, love you.